how to recognize your Isht Devata. And trust me, it is more tricky than you think. In our last video, we spoke about your sacred relationship with your Isht Devata and the importance of invoking him or her before each and every sadhana or request in your life. But many seekers ask me, how do I recognize my Isht Devata and how to be sure that it is him or her? But let me tell you a first secret. You don't find your Isht Devata. It's your Isht Devata that finds you. And I will explain why. So if you want to know how to recognize the signs of a true connection with your Isht Devata and not mistake it for something else, watch this video until the end. First of all, why do we need an Isht Devata, a main deity, to guide, protect, and help us? Why isn't a guru enough? The fact is that all our great gurus are incarnated in a human body with all the limitations related to the five senses and the physical body. This is why every great rishi or guru had a divine disembodied form of God guiding them through their human journey so that they can guide other human beings towards the divine light and consciousness. Ignoring the importance of the divine beings like deities could be a great lack and mistake on your spiritual path. Because however great is a human being in consciousness, this physical body always comes with flaws, limitations, and some level of ego, while the deities are far beyond all that and far more powerful than any human being can be. In fact, the greatest rishis and gurus take their power from the deities that they worshipped, sometimes through lifetimes and lifetimes, often through several lifetimes of penance and intense sadhana. And that made them the great beings that we are looking up today. But the divine taking so many forms and manifesting through so many manifestations of energies and beings, how do you know which deity is the most suitable for you and which form of the divine to worship? Even though at the end of the day, all the deities are formless and united with the one divine energy, which has no gender, no form, and no limitations in time and space. We humans often need a form to turn to worship, and to call for help and guidance. And this will be your Isht Devata. And it can be a masculine or a feminine form of the divine. तो अपने इष्ट देवता को कैसे पहचाने? अपने इष्ट देवता को चुनने के दौरान कुछ गलतियां हो सकती हैं। यह उतना obvious या आसान नहीं होता है जितना कुछ लोग बताते हैं. And here are some common mistakes in this matter. First of all, even if you were not born in your actual family by chance, but by karmic choice, your Isht Devata might be different from the Isht Devata of your parents. Your Isht Devata could also be different from the first Devata you feel attracted to or comes into your life. Sometimes a deity comes first into your life to guide you at some stage of your sadhana or consciousness so that you will be able to recognize and worship your actual Isht Devata, who can come later in your life. So don't take the first deity that you hear about as necessarily your Isht Devata. A second mistake is to think that you will automatically feel a great attraction and love for your Isht Devata the first time you get in touch with him or her. Although it is generally the case, especially if you have a strong past life connection with this Isht Devata or devi, but it might not always be the case. ऐसा हो सकता है कि आप अपने इष्ट देवता को पहली नजर में ना पहचान पाएं. And I talk from experience, as it was the case for me. My Isht Devata was not the first devata I started to worship and did not enter immediately in my life. Moreover, the day my Isht Devata first entered into my life, I did not recognize him at all. I looked at his picture and thought that this was a very bizarre being, which probably comes from human imagination, because I have never seen someone looking like this. I didn't feel love, trust, or attraction, and I was almost about to get rid of his picture when finally he revealed himself to me. I knew nothing about my Isht Devata, and I come from a totally different culture and background. But the circumstances of my life mysteriously guided me into one of his temples. There, I felt a tremendous spiritual energy that I have never experienced before and started to believe that maybe there is something behind this Devata. I immediately challenged him that if he wants me to worship him, he'd better do a big miracle right in this temple for me. And if he does something unbelievable that has no physical explanation, then I will start a serious worship of him and take him seriously. And on that day, a great miracle happened right in front of me in the temple of my Isht Devata. A book suddenly appeared in my car while nobody had the key, and I have never touched this book or bought it in any way. And it was exactly the book containing the answers to some spiritual questions that I was asking myself at that time. I also met someone in this temple that day who was not supposed to be there and that I asked to meet to my Isht Devata. With these two great miracles, I was finally convinced and started a true daily worship of him. In a year, my relationship with my Isht Devata grew so fast, deep, and strong that I am able to ask for any help or any miracle directly to him, whatever happens in my life. And I never forget to invoke him before any major sadhana or mantra chanting, even if I worship any other deity than him. He even organized my marriage in the most miraculous way, exactly the way I asked him, and helped me to get permission to do much more advanced sadhana that I was personally prepared or ready for. And all this is thanks to his blessings and help in my life. So if you want to find your Isht Devata or Devi for sure, without making mistakes, simply sit down in front of your altar, light up a diya while meditating on the gurus and invoking your guru, even though you don't know who he or she might be, and ask the guru to guide you to your Isht Devata. Then ask your Isht Devata, whoever she or he might be, to reveal him or herself to you as soon as possible, and ask him or her to make it as obvious as it can be so that you don't miss your reunion with your Isht Devata or Devi. Repeat this request at least once a week with full faith and devotion, eager to meet your Isht Devata or Devi. And there is no way that he or she won't manifest in your life. You might have to be patient, consistent, and ready to follow the signs, the dreams, or the sudden books that come to you. But if you learn how to keep going and follow the signs that your Isht Devata is sending you, you will end up finding him or her without any doubt. But until there, feel free to chant daily any mantra of any deity that you feel attracted to or that you feel love for, or the deity responsible for any result that you would like to see in your life, because that could lead you to your Isht Devata. And don't forget to always start with basic mantras, preferably without bija mantra inside, because bija mantras are often suitable for initiated people. And don't forget to stick to one mantra, preferably on a very long term, instead of choosing several mantras and chanting them for a short period of time before changing. As Om Swami wonderfully said, if you chant too many mantras at the same time, it is like wanting to find water while digging a little bit at several places at the same time. You will never get deep enough to find the water, while if you dig at the same place over and over again for a long period of time, there is no way you don't find the water hidden below the ground. So take this guidance and stick to your mantra and your deity, whatever happens. Now you know how to invoke and recognize your Isht Devata or Devi and how to avoid the most common mistakes. जब अपने इष्ट देवता मिल जाता है, फिर चाहे कुछ भी हो, आप अपनी साधना का पूरा आनंद लेंगे. And remember, the discovery of your Isht Devata is not the beginning of your journey. It's the moment you finally recognize who has been walking beside you, protecting you, guiding you, and helping you all along, and probably since many lifetimes. This is why, even if you forget about your Isht Devata when you begin a new life on earth in a body, your Isht Devata knows where you are and knows how and when to find you in this life. Isht Devata हमेशा हमारे साथ है, बस हमें उनके presence महसूस करना सीखना है. May you receive the best guidances, unlock your deepest intuition, and find the Isht Devata that will awaken the deepest divine love and devotion in your heart. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Dhanyawad. See you very soon. Jai Shri Krishna.